any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner, is my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up, get back up, get back. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour plays. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him to let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race to make merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue. It's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take round. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth. Nigga, cool zone. Go to grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Get back up. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you could cross us with no consequence, but you will pay dividends. You should've used your common sense. My zeal lit, that means you could never prevail. Hey, with a true sin, hey, with warriors dwell. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she wise. I know two things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My UPK soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that means? Fall on his age. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Lonely one west. Say what? Lonely one west. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up. I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to grip. It's all about that warfare, boy. Back up. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down, boy.
Whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of one West, no contest. We the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you repressed slaves. Niggas is dying off in waves. living in dirt, now it's some grave. Niggas crosswalk through the crosswalk and the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. Americans killing us, saying they fearing us, put the drugs in the hood. Now my niggas delirious, put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some skills and murder my ass. Like the sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father, give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga. It's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up. Cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave. Reaping what you sowed, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
Touring on the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Vibe, doing mine, I ain't shit, but getting it is a pastime. So in a minute, I'ma pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash fine. Kinda simple if you feel it, catch your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. Don't get your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly. Hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Devil missiles high. I can see him from the parking lot. Never finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All out warfare, nightmares in the big house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit won't turn around. I never learned that this motherfucker burns down. Yelled in the streets. Told them to preach. All of you angels bring hope to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring hope to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships, they brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
All right, clap it up. Shalom. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We've been bringing out this truth since 1969. And that truth is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Israelites of the Bible.
Whoa.
And that we are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the best kept secret on the planet. We've been bringing this truth out, helping us get our identity back, that which was stolen by our oppressors. And of course, it's a lot going on out here in the world today. But this is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. This is Isupk Charlotte School. I'm Officer 50 by Eyes. I want to start off by saying, now by Shinyal Shah Barakatham, Salaki to all the brothers. Now Shimon Thumb by Shinyal Shah, all the sisters. You know, we're going to get into this brotherhood. But of course, who am I to break tradition? We're going to start with our go-to, Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. If you could, read that, Baba Bashar.
Okay. So look.
No sweat, brother. Because brotherhood is important, man. Brotherhood is something that is always lacking. You hear me every Tuesday talk about how much we need brotherhood. And if you're talking about how much we need it, then it must be a lack of it in our community. Like it shows on a daily basis. All you gotta do is walk outside and look around, man. There's no love between blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Not in between the tribes individually or the coexistence of the tribes. But that's what we're here to combat against. That's what we're here to bring out. Of course, In the Isupk, we don't have any problem, man.
Well,
We got brotherhood in this school, man.
that's right.
We build on brotherhood. Either you're gonna be a good brother, or you're gonna find yourself outside these doors, man. Like, we don't tolerate lack of brotherhood in here, man. You got that, sir?
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Gather yourselves together. Again, that's the order, man. That means come together, man. That means somebody who's not together need to gather themselves together. Read.
Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. Man. A nation is a family of people, man. A bloodline of a certain people that got started from some man. Like the nation of Israel was started from Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. You got the so-called the Chinese, which is the Moabites, was started from a man named Moab. Japanese started from a man named Ammon. So these a nation is a family, man. And we are that nation or that family that's not desired, man. And that's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We hated out here in these streets, man. The world hates us. The world comes together collectively. All these other nations come together collectively to hate you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian. Like it's a definitely a conspiracy to keep us on the bottom and to keep us as the slaves in their kingdom, man. But the Lord is telling us to gather ourselves together because we are that nation that's not desired.
Well, gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired. Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth, man. This is a order to come together in a timely manner, man. We don't have all day. We don't have forever to do this order, man. It says before the decree bring forth, man. Before some order goes forth, read.
Before the day pass as a child.
Before the day pass as a child, man. Because time is moving quickly, man. And the day is going to pass. And if we don't complete this order before the day pass, then it's going to be hell to pay, man.
Well,
Christ is coming back with 200 million angels to bring death and destruction to this place, man.
well,
And you don't want to be on the wrong end of that, man. So gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Read.
before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you.
Exactly, man. Before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you, man. Nobody wants the fierce anger of the Most High to come upon you, man. The one of the biggest or the strongest traits that the Most High has is his mercy, man. He's very long suffering, man. Like he don't reward us for what we deserve, man. Because we would have been destroyed a long time ago if that was the case.
Well,
But there comes a point in time where his patience runs out, man.
that's right.
And he unleashes the wrath of his fierce anger. And we don't want that to happen to us, man. So gather yourselves together, man. Listen to the Most High and come together with your people, man. Separate from this devil, this oppressor, these other nations that seek to kill, rob, and destroy us, man. And come together with your brother, man. That's what we do in the Isupk. We try to get our brothers and sisters to come back to the Most High, come together to come back to the Most High. And there comes a time when our people just lost the compassion for each other, man. And that's one of the curses for breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments. If you could, get me Deuteronomy 28:54. Because we wasn't always this way, man. There was a time you could read about when Israel had compassion at Israel, man, for Israel. We were together as a nation, and we knew who our people were, and we knew who the enemy was. and we moved accordingly. Read it when you got it, sir.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 54.
Read.
So that the man that is tender among you,
So that the man that is tender among you, man, a man that has compassion for his brother, man, a man that has love in his heart for his people, man. Read.
so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
And it's not talking about necessarily a soft brother. Like soft as in like he ain't got no heart or nothing like that. It's just he's a caring and compassionate dude for his people, man. Really.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
But it's gonna come a time when that man who had compassion for his people, his eyes gonna be turned evil towards his brother, man. He's gonna lose that compassion that he had for his brother, man. And now his eyes gonna be turned evil to his brother. Really.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And towards the wife of his bosom, man. So that same brother that would care about his brothers and sisters, or his wife, or his children, you know, that brother will now look to rob his brother, man, if you see him on the street. Set him up to get robbed, or set him up to get killed, or set him up to get jumped. Or you'll join a gang and bang on your fellow brothers and sisters, or your fellow brothers just because they're from another block.
What?
Because they got on a different color from you, man. Or you might find yourself in the drug game and you warring against fellow rival drug dealers because you chasing that almighty dollar. Now money and wealth is more important than your brother, man. That tender eye that you have from your brother has now turned evil and cold, man.
What?
Now you seek to hate your brother instead of love your brother. And the same thing goes for the wife of your bosom, man. That wife that you held dear, that you would do anything for, that you took the time to court and bring flowers and show compassion and nurture and speak soft words to her and made her feel safe and gave her all your love, man. You know how it is when a brother is smitten with a woman, man, and he trying to get a woman and he just met her and everything all good. He'll do anything for that woman. Read.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
The part about the wife again is good.
God. Salah.
The wife of his bosom.
So that the man that is tender among you
Right.
and very delicate,
Right.
his eye shall be evil toward his brother,
Right.
and toward the wife of his bosom.
And towards the wife of his bosom, man. Now his eye is evil towards his own wife, man. That same sister that he's vowed to love and cherish for the rest of his life, man. The same woman that he would raise his kids with, the mother of his children. Now his eyes evil towards her, man. Now he feels like he can treat her like any kind of way that he wants to treat her, man. He can be a straight beast to his woman, man. In the Isupk, we don't condone violence against our women or not loving our women, man. We love our women in here, man.
That's right.
We love our women so much. Some brothers got 4 or 5 of them, man.
Wow.
And we love them all, man. You know. So this is just one of the curses, man, of what was gonna happen to our people. And it goes directly against brotherhood, man.
Right.
Because now you don't have that compassion and love for your brother and your sister, man. Now our eye has turned evil to our brother and our sister. And we gotta find a way to stop that, man. Is there more on that?
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall what?
Which he shall leave.
Which he shall lead, man. You know, in our community, it's a problem with absent fathers, man. Like it's a epidemic for absent fathers in our hood, man. And you know, I'm one of the blessed ones who ain't had to deal with that, man. So But I still have compassion for my brothers and sisters that didn't have it like I had it. Man. But the same goes for that same brother who used to have compassion for his brother and his wife and his children. Now he got an evil eye toward even his own children, man. The fruit of his loins, which he shall lead, man. Like that's a lack of brotherhood to lead your children, man, without a father.
Well,
And a lot of it comes from him not being able to tolerate that wicked woman, man. But it's still no excuse. You know what I mean? We gotta work together, man. Both parties are wrong. The woman for driving them away and the man for giving up and leaving. You gotta come together and show brotherhood on all levels. On all levels of the family, man, woman, and child. And that's what we raising. Well, Commander General Yohana is raising up in the school, man. Strong brothers who going to show brotherhood to their brothers, their fellow brothers, their sisters, and their children, man.
that's right.
Raising up strong family units, man. Like Commander General Yohana said, we don't need a black man in the White House, man. We need a black man in every black house. Man.
That's right.
And it's that kind of mentality that's going to bring us out of this state that we're in, of being this bottom of society, man. It's these kind of things that's going to change our fate in this place, man. And the Lord is going to come back, and then that's it for these other nations, man.
That's
But
right.
until then, the Isupk is going to do the work to bring back brotherhood to this nation, man. To help this nation gather back together. If you could, give me Deuteronomy 22 and 1. If you could.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 1. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them.
Right. So you see, this is back in Israel, right? So a brother's sheep or his brother's ox, you shouldn't see your brother's ox or sheep go astray and then not do what?
And hide thyself from them.
And hide thyself from them. So you want to break that down? What that mean right there? Or see if anybody online want to break that down. Tell me what that means. That if you see your brother's ox or sheep go astray and not hide yourself from them. Come on with it.
Salakia. So, in so many words, you see your brother's property, see him lose some wealth of his.
Right.
Just don't, you know what I mean? Just don't let your brother lose his wealth. You know what I mean? Look out for him.
Yeah, right.
Don't hide yourself from it. Don't like how we say in the hood, like, mind your business.
Right.
Don't be on some like ain't none of my business. Or that's kind of like, praying for another's downfall, like, he took a loss. Instead of looking at your brother like, yeah, he took a loss, you don't want him to take a loss. You know what I mean?
Right.
You bring his property back to him so he doesn't take that loss.
Exactly. That's exactly right, sir. Like we just say, where I come from, see and don't see.
Yeah.
Don't hide yourself when you see your brother's property, man. Because a sheep or an ox is definitely your brother's property. But back during those days, that represented a great deal of wealth to a brother, man. Today it might be his car or his jewelry, or it could be a family member, or it could be the brother, going off in sin. Come on with it, sir.
Salak, if I may, a good example would be like, if a brother left his wallet sitting somewhere.
Also, his wallet sitting
You know what I mean? You just like, I ain't none of my business.
Right.
Yo, you left your wallet, man. You left your phone. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's an excellent example. Brother leave his wallet, you see his wallet, and he just leave it there. Nah, man. Pick that brother's wallet up, man. Take care of it so you can get it back to him. That's one thing I love about this school, man. I done left plenty of things by mistake around brothers. And they're just gonna sit there until you get back, man. Or they're gonna pick it up and take it home and keep it in good care until they see you again and make sure you get it back, man.
Right.
Like if a brother leaves something in my car, and I know he's gonna be back in my car the following week, this stuff gonna be right there waiting on him, man.
Right.
Read.
Verse 2. And if thy brother be not nigh unto thee,
If your brother be not nigh unto thee, man, your brother's not close. He might be a ways off, read.
or if thou know him not,
Or if you don't even know him, read.
then thou shalt bring it unto thine own house.
Then bring it to your own house, man. If you can't get your brother his wallet back right away, or you don't know who that wallet belongs to, pick it up, man. Take it to your own house. Really.
And it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it.
Right. And then you keep safe, man. Until your brother seek after it, come back. And then you got it right there for him, man. Says Salakia. I ain't know who you was or whatever, but I got this right here for you, man. You check it, everything in there that you left in there, man. That's the kind of brotherhood that we need, man.
Right.
That's the kind of brotherhood that we've been lacking in our community for far too long.
Right.
It's not that, but it hasn't been that long ago that we had this kind of love in our community among certain parts of the community. But now it seems like it's a trend now to see who can be the shysters to each other, man.
Right.
Like my parents didn't grow up like that. Like my parents grew up in a generation where they had certain people who would do shysty things, but that wasn't the overall of the population of the community. The overall majority of the people in the community would be the ones who would take care of their brother's property, man, and see that they get it back. But then along comes this generation, and the generation that come behind us, man, they even worse. Like we got it bad, man. We got to do better, man. We got to tighten up, as the old folks say.
Well,
Read.
and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again.
Right. Get that brother his possession back, man. It belongs to him. You found it. And now you can be a blessing to that brother and see that he gets it back, man.
Right.
Like that right there can go a long ways for uplifting a brother, man.
That's right.
You got brothers and sisters who have who feel like our community is a lost cause, man, as far as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man.
Right.
They feel like we are a lost cause. There ain't no hope for us. We rotten to the core. They drank the Kool-Aid of the oppressor and believe the same way the oppressor believes about us, that we ain't no good, ain't no good members amongst our community. But here goes a brother who gonna bring you back your wallet, man, after you lose it. You got all kind of money in there, man, cash. And all the cash is in there, man. Think about how that could restore a brother's faith back in this community, man. Like you being that one brother to show compassion, man, and do what the scriptures tell you to do, man. That's in the law, man. This is Deuteronomy, man. Again, this whole Bible is based on brotherhood, man. For
That's
our
right.
nation.
That's right.
That's why we stress brotherhood so much in the Isupk, because the Bible stresses brotherhood so much. Read.
Verse 3. In like manner shalt thou do with his ass, and so shalt thou do with his raiment.
Right. So whatever the possession might be, whether it's a wallet, whether it's a chain or some money he might have dropped on the ground, or whatever the case may be, his sweater, his coat, his jacket, his headpiece, whatever. Likewise, you should do, man. Like, that's a simple concept. Every week I talk about do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The same way we've all lost things, man. We've all misplaced things. We've all left things behind. And we have not all been fortunate enough to get it back. We haven't been fortunate enough to leave it in the presence of an Isupk brother, man.
Well,
You left it in the possession, or you lost it around some grimy dudes. There's some dudes in the world who don't have no compassion. And you never saw it again. I'm missing some $300 Maui gym shakers, man.
damn it.
Man. It still hurt me to this day. Somebody got me, man. Somebody got me. I got an idea who it is, too. You know how family is, right? That's why the PPK is my family, man. Read.
And with all lost thing of thy brothers, which he hath lost, and thou hast found.
It's a lot. All lost things of that brother, man. No matter what it is. That's how you're supposed to handle the situation, man. If you find it, read.
And thou hast found, shalt thou do likewise. Thou mayest not hide thyself.
That's right. Don't act like you don't see it, man. Don't pretend or don't not care. Don't choose to not care, man. Don't choose to help your brother, man. Don't hide thyself. Be a good brother. Step up and show some brotherhood, man. That's what that's saying. Read.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ass or his ox fall down by the way, and hide thyself from them.
Right. So now, same go for if a brother need help, man. Or if a brother car break down or something, man. Don't hide yourself if you see a brother need help, man. Stop and get that brother some help, man. I mean, the situation, I don't know how you would play it necessarily if you driving down the road late at night. If you see some brothers on the side of the road, I don't know. You're going to have to make a judgment call on that. Because you'll never know, like, that could be some type of setup or something. But if you see a brother or a sister in need, and you feel like you should help them, or you feel like they need help, or like it's a legitimate case of them needing help, help your brother or your sister, man.
Wow.
Show some compassion, man. Don't be the person who refuses to be a good brother. Show brotherhood, man. Brotherhood goes a long way in our community, man. And the lack of brotherhood has gone a long way in destroying our community.
Wow.
So we can build it back up by showing good brotherhood, being good brothers and sisters to each other, man. Drop that, and give me Colossians chapter 4 and verse 6. There's another thing, we gotta watch how we speak to each other too. That tongue, that mouth. That mouth is a big thing in Israel too. Like that mouth can get you in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Ask the baby about it, man. The baby, man. The baby disappointed me, man. I just found out that he apologized, man. I was saying that, I was just starting to become a fan of the brother when he stepped up and spoke against homosexuality, man. Then my brother informed me that he apologized, and I'm like, oh.
That's a lot.
What's wrong with these dudes, man? Nobody can stand on it, man. Nobody can stand on it. Everybody make a statement and get some zeal 1 minute, and then when they start getting hit in the pockets, now they can't stand on it. That's why I'm glad I found the Isupk, or however it go, the Isupk found me, however it go. I'm glad I found that before I found wealth, man. Because if I ever become wealthy, I got these principles to stand on, man. Because if you out here in the world and you become wealthy and you dependent on that wealth, man, you have no integrity.
Right.
It's like the only integrity you can find is in the ISUPK. Got that reading for me, sir.
Colossians 4.
Verse 6.
It's the book of Colossians chapter 4 and verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace.
Let your speech be always with grace. What does it mean to let your speech be always with grace? What does it mean to let your speech be always with grace? Anybody? Anybody online? Nobody online? You got it? What you think? Of course, I know you know.
You asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being respectful.
Right. Always come from a place of love and compassion, man. Be kind to a brother, man. Don't just come out all reckless talking to a brother, man. You can make the conversation go off and go left and sideways.
Young man Grant.
Young man
said,
Grant, man. How about you know Shabba Rock Thug? What's going on, warrior?
Say kind word.
Kind words. Kind. Zach. Let your speech be with grace, man. No, you were taught to know how to talk to people, man. Like everybody probably heard, if you don't have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say nothing at all, man. I don't know about that, but you can always be respectful, no matter what it is you gotta say to a brother. There's still a way to say it, and that right there is lacking in our community too. Like you got brothers and sisters who feel like they can come out their mouth any kind of way they want to when they talk to another black man, Hispanic man, or Native Indian. Especially you sisters, man. Like you sisters got it bad. I mean, I ain't trying to single y'all out more so than the men, but it's become like more prevalent and more noticeable for me these days because it's always some video or something with some sister going off on some brother, man. Come on with it. What you got?
What I was gonna say? It's a lot. Because we let emotions get the best of us, right? And unfortunately, like how you say the sisters, right? Unfortunately, a lot of the brothers take on the qualities and characteristics of the sisters as well, and they're full of emotions. So then, what do we have? We got young brothers brothers so full of emotion that they quick to blow each other's head off just because of a mid incident, an insignificant incident like stepping on somebody's sneaker or bumping into them. It's that whole like you was bringing out just a little while ago. If a brother loses property, return his property to him. We got that whole crab in the bucket mentality where we pulling each other down to get ahead. But if we was to uplift one another, right? You want your brother to be above you. You trying to uplift him more than you uplift yourself. If we all do that for each other, then we'd be a great ass nation. Instead of trying to pull each other down, instead of being full of emotional to each other, and so quick tempered with each other, you know what I mean? Speak with each other with grace. Being respectful and professional. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Come on. Wow, for that's a heavy point you're bringing out, because that grace can go a long way, man. Like it's almost like we go out of our way to see who could be the most disrespectful to each other.
Right.
And what's the point, man? Like the point is to somehow show that you're better than a brother, or that a brother is beneath you, or that you get one up on a brother by talking to him a certain way. Like, when is it gonna stop? When are we gonna stop trying to be better than each other? We're not better than each other, man. We one nation, man. We one family. And our nation is better than the other nation.
That's right.
But inside this nation, We all family, man. Like Commander General Yohana is a great man. A great man.
That's right.
But he don't treat himself like he's above any of his brothers, man. Like he is the most humble and hardworking man if you ever meet him and talk to him, man.
Yeah.
Like he cares about all of us, man. And that can go a long way when you see powerful men in authority knowing how to speak to each other and everybody else that's lower than them with grace, man. Like General Mahayana, man. General Mahayana can be an intimidating dude, man. You see him, he's a stern general. But you meet him and you talk to him, and he's so full of grace when he talks to you. He got so much compassion in his words when he talks to you. It's like, man, I wasn't expecting the conversation to even go like that. But that brother cares about us, man. He cares about his people. Like each one of us on the individual level. Like you gotta get checked, you're gonna get checked. And this gonna be one of them groundbreaking, earth-shattering checkers. I mean, I've heard about it. I'm trying to avoid that. But I've had the pleasure of talking to him, man. He talked with such compassion, man, and such brotherhood, man. Like that right there inspires me to be a better brother and talk to treat brothers better, man. And use more grace. And use more grace when I speak, man. You know what I mean? Like if they can do it, who am I? I ain't nothing, man. You know what I mean? I ain't nothing compared to them brothers. And they set the example, man. They set the bar high for the way that they lead men, and part of that leadership is knowing how to talk to a brother, man. Read.
It's a lot.
Come on.
And if I could add on to what you're saying, and our people out here, it's why brotherhood is so important. And our people in the world, we know how to talk with grace, right? We go on a job interview, we know how to conduct ourselves if we want the damn job, even if you're a brother in the world.
Right.
And for the most part, you step to a sister, you talk to her with grace for the most part. I know some brothers straight cold, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, but unfortunately, because we lack brotherhood, we talk to each other like, especially like you touching on the sisters. You approach some sisters, they cruel, beauty skin deep, sis. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. But we know how to talk with grace, but unfortunately, because of hundreds of years of oppression, we look at each other through the eyes of the oppressor. We look through his lens, so we look at ourselves like we not squats. We talk to each other like we ain't squat. It's a lot.
Get that brother a hand. Y'all, the war always dropping them heavy points, man. Because, like, looking at each other through the eyes of the oppressor, that is a heavy, heavy point right there. Like, we talk to each other like the oppressor talk to us sometimes, man. Like, you can look at those slave movies or the movies back in the days of Jim Crow, and then you see how a sister talk to a brother, or a brother talk to another brother, or a brother talk to a sister. You like, man, I can't even tell the difference between how the oppressor talk to us and how we talk to us, man. I mean, somebody we don't even know, we just met. Sometimes you can just say hi to a sister, and she looking at you with the evilest eye, man. She looking at you like, or she might say something like, "You talking to me?" Or you know what I mean? Get the sucking up teeth. I'm like, "Oh, what is good with you, man? What you think, man? What you think this is, man?"
It's shalom.
Right. Like, we gotta do better, man. On all levels.
Right.
It don't cost nobody nothing to speak to each other with kindness, man. Like, it don't cost you nothing. It takes less energy, as a matter of fact, to speak to somebody with grace.
That's right.
Than it do to come at them sideways, man. But if you could read, is it more on that?
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 4 and verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, Seasoned with salt.
Seasoned with salt, man. Now that's important. What does it mean to be seasoned with salt, man? Come on with it, sir. I already know. You know. Let's see if young man Grant. Young man Grant, what does it mean to be that your speech be seasoned with salt? Come on, young man. You give him a minute to get it. You know we got a little delay, a little lag. Seasoned with salt. You know, us in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, we ought to know what it means to be. We cook with seasoning, so you know a thing or two about that.
Sure.
What you got?
I'll say I'll read the rest of them, give some context.
Okay, come.
This book, Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
Right. That pretty much gave it to him right there.
He say, young man Grant says, grace words.
Grace words?
God.
I was looking for something a little bit different, young man, but no sweat on that. Being seasoned with salt. Come on with it.
If I could give a young brother a hint. And I say young brother with what's the word I'm looking for? As a term of endearment.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Think of like a seasoned vet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like play an athlete, a seasoned athlete.
Right. Think of seasoned as like a seasoned vet. He got what? He got a lot of experience, right?
Yeah.
And then it says so that you will know how to address every man. Gonna give it another crack, young man Grant. Let your words be seasoned with salt. Come on, young man Grant. I'm about to start doing the Jeopardy music. That's a strong brother right there, man.
Yeah.
You know, young man Grant, showing up, man. He's beyond his classes, man. He should be getting pretty good in his 90 days now, right?
Yeah.
Looking forward to see what that brother do, man. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for that brother, man.
Old sign crap. Young man Grant says knowledge.
That's a part of it. That has a lot to do with it because the seasoned person is gonna know how to read the situation. And letting your words be seasoned with salt simply means know how to tailor your words to fit who you're talking to. Like some people might be able to take things a little more direct than others. Some people you might have to come at them a little bit lighter, a little bit more kinder. So you have to check somebody, right? Not necessarily check them, but so you got to get your point across. Some people you might offend them if you get a little too harsh with the way you come at it, or if you come a little too straightforward. So if you know you got a brother who don't care about how you talk, you can just go straight in and say what you got to say. But then you have another brother you might not be able to talk to the same way. So you have to season your words to know how to address every man. Know who you're talking to. Know how to best communicate with that person. Because communication is not necessarily the same as talking to a person. You can talk to a person and no communication takes place. Communication is the giving and receiving of information. So sometimes you can give the information, but it's not received. So that's not communication. So you have to season your words so that they get what you're saying, and they don't let anything, cross up the message. They don't let something or the way you say it cross up the message. So basically, just knowing your audience, know how to talk to them. You got anything to add?
I was gonna say, speak wisely.
Right. Right. That's why I said knowledge was pretty good answer, man, Grant, because wisdom has a lot to do with that. Any more on that?
That ye may know how you ought to answer every man.
That's it. So there you go, man. If you could read it again from the top, read it all the way through.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 4 and verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
Right. So you may know how to answer every man. If you could get me John chapter 1 verse 47. Because how we treat each other and talk to each other is it's caused a lot of problems in our community, man.
Right.
Like many of beef has started over misunderstandings, miscommunications, emotional conversation, short tempers, things of that nature. Feeling disrespected. Brother feel disrespected. Ain't no telling how it gonna go. Come on with it.
So, like, if I could give a quick example of the scripture you just pulled, right? Like when we go out to teach, I had somebody ask me. I'm saying this because I had somebody ask me this recently. I said, yeah, y'all go out there, y'all teach, ain't you? Like, shouldn't you be like paranoid? People attack you, things of that nature. So I told the brother, I'm like, oh well, we're not gonna go out there and see a group of gang members and be like, y'all some BITCH. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all some strong brothers, man.
Right.
Bring that strength up in here, man. With us, that's just an example of speaking with grace, seasoned with salt. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like Salak with the baby situation, right? I say the apology wasn't seasoned with salt. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't speech with grace. Man. I think that the initial, what he said the first time, that was grace with speech.
Right.
Even though it was kind of left. Salak advised, if I may.
No, man.
I don't see myself performing.
I'm just disappointed in the brother, man.
And saying something like that. Like I ain't that's not on my mind. You know what I mean? But then again, if this the audience you attract, maybe that does need to be addressed. You don't want that around you, but then don't turn around and apologize.
Right.
Salaki, I know that's way off the top.
Nah, we can go in on the baby, man, because these dudes, man, Nick Cannon, like they always jumping out there, man. They quick to jump out there, only to get snatched up by their white daddies, man, who hold the keys to their fortunes, and then they gotta run back. They gotta go run back.
Right. Salaki. I'm like, what are you apologizing for exactly?
Because you saw what happened to him. He just got. I was watching the world news the other night. He made the world news, man. Lollapalooza, some concert.
Lost a bunch of money, basically.
Yeah, they canceled him. They took him off the venue. Like that's a big time show. Like with pop artists and all of the top artists go to every year. They took him off the show. So now he's starting to feel that now. He's starting to see that financial hit. Come on, man.
Yeah, you a gangster.
Man. Like,
I mean, we are the streets, man. It's a salami. It's a lot.
The baby, come on, man. This is Isupk Charlotte.
He need a flyer.
You are in Charlotte, man. Come get a flyer, man.
We going in this week.
Come get up in Isupk, man. We at 1539 North Ridge Avenue, Kannapolis, North Carolina, man.
Wow.
Get a flyer, come get up in these doors, man.
Damn, but
And we're gonna show you how to be seasoned with salt.
that's right.
So you don't have to backtrack off of your words, man. Matter of fact, drop that and get me Luke chapter 14. Luke 14, start at the 28th verse, man. Cause this go for all these, the baby, Nick Cannons, who else was it?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, was it Steven Jackson? Yeah, Steven Jackson. All these dudes, man. The only one that seen, but he ain't made no comments about too much controversy yet. But what he has said, he stood on it, and that's Kwame Brown.
Right.
Shout out to Kwame Brown.
Yeah, big up.
You need to get a flyer too. Cause you in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Get a flyer, man. Come on with it.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost?
Right. So if you know that you about to build a tower or build anything, build a house, go into business, whatever you plan to build, you gotta first sit down and count the costs, man. You gotta know what it's gonna take to see this thing all the way through.
Right.
You don't just jump out there and grab a bunch of materials and then just start working, man, or just start hammering away. You don't do that, man. You gotta plan it out. You gotta count the costs. To see what it's gonna take to finish the job, man. Really.
Whether he have sufficient to finish it.
Right. You gotta see whether or not you can finish it, man. Like you can't jump out there prematurely off of making hasty decisions.
Right.
And being unwise,
Right.
and start building, and then now you don't have sufficient funds to finish the job, man, or sufficient manpower, or sufficient energy or interest, or whatever it takes. It's gonna take all of that to see this thing through to the end, man. You gotta be able to see it through to the end.
That's right. Verse 29. Lest haply, after he hath laid the foundation.
Right. So now you done start, and you done laid the foundation. You done jumped out there. You done took your stance. You done made your statement, man. You done put it out there. Now what? Really?
And is not able to finish it.
Now you can't finish. Then what? Really?
All that behold.
All that behold. Everybody that's looking at you, man. What? What are they gonna do?
All that behold it begin to mock him.
Now you're getting mocked by the Isupk.
Just for lies.
Now we gotta sit up here and talk about you, man. Because you, Nick Cannons, and the babies, y'all jump out there and start building a house when you haven't been trained by the Isupk under Commanding General Yahama to know what it takes to finish building a house like that, man. You look at us, we go out on these streets and we call the oppressor the devil to his face. We stand up there and we talk about homosexuality being a sin and a disgusting abomination to the Most High, man. Now we've counted that cost, man.
Yeah, right.
We counted the cost. We know what it's gonna take, and we're willing to go and finish the job, man. If we lose our job, so what? We'll find another job.
Right.
Another brother or Commander Jerry Hunter look out for us until we find another job, man. We're not worried about that. We know that we're doing the work of the Lord, So the Lord is going to provide for us.
That's right.
We're not worried about the livelihood that we're going to lose, so we can't finish the job. Matter of fact, we welcome the drama that comes with it, man. We welcome that, man, because that's just another crown, man. That's just another crown, another notch in the victory belt, man. We are looking for another way to wet our swords up, man. But you cats, man, who not in the ISUPK, y'all get hyped. I don't know whether or not y'all been watching some videos, watching a General Muhammad class or whatever the case may be, and now you get hyped. And now you jump out there and say the real Jews are black. The Jews in Israel are imposters. Homosexuality is wrong. Or whatever the case may be. But you don't count the cost, man.
Right.
You don't see whether or not you got what it takes to finish the job.
That's right.
And then now you start to get hit in the pocket. You start to get backlash. You start to get people who adored you publicly, now they're publicly speaking against you. You start to get canceled from venues. You start to take a financial hit. You ain't even took the financial hit yet. You just see that you could possibly take the financial hit. And now you run scared, man.
Right.
And then immediately you get the backtracking, man.
Right.
You get the apologizing. Apologizing for what?
Right.
What exactly is the apology for? Are you saying that you were wrong for what you were saying? What you said was wrong? Is that what you're saying? You didn't mean to say it? You shouldn't have said it in the first place? That's right. You shouldn't have said it in the first place, man. You should let the real men of the Lord, the trained professionals of the ISUPK do all the talking.
That's right. That's right.
Damn right, man. The men you see in these videos are trained professionals, man.
Right.
Do not try this at home, man. It takes training. It takes months, weeks, sometimes even years of work being put in for us to step up on the podium and speak to the world the way we do, man.
Right.
It's not easy, man. You got to count that cost, man.
Right.
What you got?
And Salaki, if I may also add on what you're saying, it's so heavy, right? Like what is the brother? What are any of them apologizing for, right? Like,
Right.
no matter what entertainer it is, right? So you got youth looking up to these entertainers. So basically, what you're saying or what they're saying is that it's okay to live that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
Or when it comes to certain individuals, it's okay, that it's okay to get punked, right? So Nick Cannon come out and say the real Jews are black, and the Jewish community come out and say, what you say?
Right.
You know what I mean? And the brother come out and he make the statement of anti-homo statement, and the gay community come out like, yo, you said what? Right? And then, my bad. I ain't say nothing. Yo, my bad, right? You just got punked, right? And what strike me so ill, right, Boz, is that look how hard they go for the Jewish community.
Right.
Look how hard they go for the gay community.
Right.
What if we went that hard for black people?
That's right, man.
So like, no time.
And imagine if they said something to a brother on the street, and the brother said, what you say?
Right.
What a baby gonna do? He done made song after song about how he gonna pull out and shoot you, man.
Yeah.
But now you get punked by the rainbow cat.
Yo.
Come on, man.
Let them punk you.
Come on. And what are you apologizing for, really? You're only apologizing because you're trying to save that money, man.
Right.
You know what you said the first time was right. You know what you said the first time was right. So you're not apologizing and saying that you were wrong. You apologizing because you're trying to keep that cash flow coming, man. Like General Muhammad said, you love money, you depend on money. So now you are controlled by your oppressor. So you need money to feel like a man. So now you need your oppressor to feel like a man. Your oppressor makes you feel like a man. Like Nick Cannon, man. Nick Cannon had Professor Griff on the show, and Professor Griff was dropping it as far as the fake Jews and the lies that they told, and he's been on there for years. And so Nick Cannon was kind of taking over the conversation. Professor Griff was his guest on the show, but he taking over the conversation, trying to show how much knowledge he got on the subject. Put his foot in his mouth. Then now, pretty much started talking trash about Professor Griff. Like Professor Griff was doing all the talking. Nah, you was doing all that talking.
He tried to dry snitch.
Right, man. It's a lot. Yeah, man, you gotta read that again. Read that again. 'Cause that scripture right there. It's heavy, man.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 28.
What's the color of these words?
Red.
This is Christ speaking, man. About you cats. No matter whether it's the Nick Cannons or the babies or these fake Israelites or brothers who come into this truth, who walk in these doors. And I pray that I never become one of these cats, man. Because nobody, he who endures till the end, the same shall be saved.
That's right.
Like this is, you come into the truth, prepare yourself for temptation, man.
Right.
Like this is not easy, man. You have to really sit and think about this, man. Can I endure to the end? I got another one on that too. See if you can find me. He that set his foot to the plow and look back is not worthy. But read that one more time first.
That's the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intended to build a tower?
Right. The tower, man. You ain't gonna build no tower in a day, man. It's gonna be an extensive process, man, a project, if you will. It's gonna take time, effort, sweat, resources, man, money, labor, a lot of labor, man. When it comes to building anything, it takes labor. You like me good? Yeah. But it takes labor. So if you're gonna decide to build anything, you have to sit down and plan whether or not you got enough in the tank, you got enough resources, you got enough labor to finish the job, man. Because if you many can, like, it's easy to start, man. It's easy to start anything, man. Look at, like, I done start working out plenty of times, man. Plenty of people start dieting, start a workout, but finishing is something else, man. You gotta finish, man. Finishing ain't as easy as starting, man. You think which one you think is harder, the first quarter or the fourth quarter, man? Why do you think they do a timeout and give you a 2-minute warning in NFL football, man? Because them last 2 minutes, man, you're gonna grind this thing out, man. That last fourth quarter of that NBA Finals game, man, that's when you gotta dig deep. You fresh when the game first starts. You got all the energy in the world. But after working, laboring, going through the trials, getting fired, getting knocked down, getting spit on at camp, getting ridiculed at camp, Got your old lady in your ear talking about, man, you ain't never home with the kids. You got people from your job passing by you, looking at you like, is that so and so from work? And then you get to work and they looking at you like, that's how you really feel? You know what I mean? You gotta count all of that, man. You gotta count all of that, man. Like, you can't travel the way you used to. You can't take trips every weekend like you used to. You gotta do this work, man. This work comes first. This is your one wife. It has to come before everything.
That's right.
It's your number one priority.
That's right.
Are you able to? You got enough in? Did you count the costs and make sure you are able to? Got enough in the tank to finish that, man? This is a marathon, not a sprint, man. And you got some brothers who found that out the hard way, man. The baby just found that out the hard way, man. Lil Boosie said something too. He ain't apologized, did he?
I'm not.
All right, about time. At least we got one. Because he said something about D Wade too. Then Mike Tyson tried to punk him. You saw that, right? And Mike Tyson tried to punk Lil Boosie, man. But then, so hopefully Lil Boosie will stand on it, man. Because I'm tired of these dudes, man. Come on with it.
Salak, if I may
Yes, sir.
also say this, that's why Christ said in the scriptures that it's impossible for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of heaven. It says it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven meaning it's damn near impossible. And you got those like, and I'm not praising Lil Boots or anything like that, but you do have those, and I'm not down in them either. Anybody, and either, right? At the same time, what I'm trying to say, but you got those that really don't give a damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paid regardless. And that's how dude, my man, that's how they all should be. Like, I can say what the hell I want to say. I'm paid, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like out the scripture you just brought out, count the cost, man. Right. You know what I mean? Do you got enough to roll?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me tell you, Bob, if I'm sitting on, of course, I'm raised up by General Yohana. If I'm sitting on this much cash, I'm gonna say what the hell I want to say.
Right. That's it.
What you gonna do? Take my car? You know what I'm saying?
I'm good. If I don't make another dime, I'm good.
Yeah.
Man. I got that. What do you call it? F you money.
Right, here you go.
I can say F y'all. Y'all can take whatever. And plus, I can still do shows. And I still got my own fans.
And Salaki, one more thing, right? Trying to play both sides of the fence ain't gonna get you nowhere. So if you're gonna go on this side, and try to be accepted by this side, guess what? The other side not gonna support you. So you can't make a statement and then turn around and say, my bad, I ain't mean to say it. Right, now you got people that really felt like what you said was the truth, like Lil Boosie. They turn like, yo, man, I know you ain't just apologize for what you said. Right. I can't mess with you now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the funny thing, right? I'm glad you said it. You just brought up something. The heavy point you brought up made me realize something that just happened, right? I don't know the dude's name, but he's an oppressor. He's a country music singer. And he had like the number one song in the nation. Number one album and all of that, top sales. And he got caught on video calling, I think one of his friends or whoever he was with. But he was using the N-word, man. He got caught calling him a nigga on camera. And he took a hit, right? Publicly. He took a hit. And the first thing they do, they go to rehab. They go on apology tour. But the funny thing is, guess what happened to his album sales?
It went up.
They like quadrupled. Like they went up like 3, 4, 5 times what they was, man. while he was on his apology tour, while he was in rehab. See how the oppressors deal with their own, man? See how they get behind their own? But then our own will be condemning Boosie or the baby for what they said, or Nick Cannon for what they said before the apology. But all they gotta do is stand on it, man.
That's right.
And then give us a chance to get behind, because the people in the community that agree with them, we gonna support them, man. Like you what you're saying is you can't make it without your oppressor, man. You can't make it without your oppressor. You can't make it without the support of the LGBT. You got to make Lil Nas X happy. Next, you're gonna be in a video with Lil Nas X. He already made a song with Lil Nas X too now. That's what Lil Nas X was saying too. Like, he was shocked because he made a song with me. But he couldn't really say nothing about Lil Boosie because Lil Boosie ain't messing. Come on with it, sir.
Salaki, if I may, what it just proved, and you know, to the young brothers coming up, you know what I mean, catching the classes and, you know, thinking about joining the school, you know what I mean, and becoming officers. You know what I mean, it just goes to show you that if you not with us, then shut your mouth.
That's right.
Just be quiet. Don't say don't say nothing because you haven't learned what yet by integrity.
Integrity.
You rather sell yourself out, sell your own people out instead of standing on your own integrity.
And you also haven't learned what? You haven't learned the true meaning of brotherhood.
Right, indeed.
You don't realize the importance of being a good brother. You were being a good brother when you spoke out against homosexuality.
Right.
But then you let your pockets take away your ability to be a good brother, man. You said money is more important than my brotherhood, man. You said me being in allegiance with the devil is more important than me helping the younger generation of kids who look up to me, who are going to listen to what I say, who I influence, who now can say, okay, I didn't agree with that homosexuality stuff either. So now I got the baby speaking out against it too. Word. That's what's up. Now he apologized. So now what are they going to think? It must be okay.
Right.
Like, that's what you do with your influence. That's why you don't deserve to have no influence.
Right.
So just shut your mouth.
That's
man.
right.
I don't want to just say, man, leave the work of the Lord to the real men of the Lord, man. The ones who have counted the cost, man. The ones who have counted the cost.
Salaki.
Come on with
If I could just say one last thing, I ain't gonna say nothing. No, I ain't gonna say nothing. Salaki. Shabai Ali and myself last night was talking last night, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't help but we was talking about the situation, you know what I mean, what's going on with Lil Nas X and all that, right?
Right.
And I remember we come from a generation that you at the playground, right? And someone says that something you did or how you look or even you yourself is gay.
Oh.
Prepare to get dirty.
Ooh.
Prepare to get scuffed up, man. It ain't, the fists are flying now.
Right.
You know what I mean? We wrestling now, man. You know what I mean? It's going down. Now we don't know, I don't know personally. I have no clue what's going on with the youngest now. Like, I know when I was young, if you call this person, I'm gonna say the F word,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
If you call this person that's it's going down. Now what's going on now? Now they got to be lenient, you know what I'm saying? Or let that ride.
You can't say that word. That you can't call nobody that word. What? That in itself is how you gonna take away the word, man? Like, that don't make no sense to me either. Because the category is gay, right? And that can be male or female, right?
Yeah.
But then you got a word for the female, which is lesbian. So what's your word for the males? F word.
And Salaki.
But Salakia, I'm gonna get off of that. Go ahead, sir.
Salaki. One last thing. I keep saying,
No,
right?
man.
If I could bring out something that also Abraham always bring out, right? When it comes to like them flaming homos, right?
Right.
Like who they imitate.
The black woman.
The black woman, that's deep. And then when it comes to them, the masculine lesbian, who they imitate.
Who, the black man?
The street dude.
Yeah, street dude.
So he always emulating or imitating black people,
Right.
man, and then glorifying it in a negative aspect.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's deep, man. You know what I mean? And that's something that we should look at and observe, man.
And you know, I get real, my chest get real puffed out when I see General Muhammad or somebody saying something that I've been saying for years. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I'm like, yo, man, I knew I belonged in this place.
Yeah.
Because for years, like for the last 15, 20 years or so, I've been saying, I don't understand these people. Because what would make a woman who don't want a man decide to get with a chick who doing her best to be a man? And a dude who don't like women, why is you with a dude trying to be a woman? Like, that don't make no sense, man. Like, that makes zero sense. Like, that let me know that you are confused, man. And your confusion is going to fall back on your own head, man. Like, the whole situation with the in the transgender community, right? You have a person who was born a man, now claims to be a woman, but now he gets to compete in sports with females and dominate the sport. I mean, dominate. Like high school wrestling. What are you doing with female wrestling anyway? But now you got this dude who pretended to be a woman, straight putting all these girls in the chicken wing, man. Putting them in the sleeper, body slamming them. You know what I mean? Like, what they gonna do with them? They can't do nothing with them. So now the parents is protesting. But you can't protest because you're for it. Track and field. I seen these two brothers, not siblings, but two Judite brothers in track and field, claiming to be girls, man. High school, track, got the worst weaves and all, bro. I mean, it's bad. Dominating the track, man. I mean, dominating. And you got parents refusing to let their daughters run against them. But what's the point? You just playing for third. Come on with it.
And if I could, these brothers are products of what? Christianity.
Christianity, man. Saw a clip the other day of a pastor. Now on TikTok, right? It's this dude. He like to take pastors and scriptures out of context and play it and try to justify homosexuality. And he's playing a clip from a pastor giving a sermon in church. And the pastor is saying, yeah, you got those who want to talk about homosexuality being a sin because it's in the book of Leviticus. But then they told me I better check myself because if you ate pork, crab, shrimp, or lobster, then that's also in Leviticus. If you wear wool, cotton blend, that's also in Leviticus. If your wife is on her cycle, and you can't even touch her or sleep in the same bed with her. Like, this is where it comes to now, man. Matter of fact, man, Salaki, let me get Jeremiah 23:1, man. But this is where it comes now with these pastors, man. When you done disrespected, I mean straight disrespected the Old Testament of the Most High's word for so long, then now you try to come back and touch on it. You say foolish stuff like that, man. Now you justifying homosexuality so that because you like to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, man. Now you know that homosexuality is a sin. The Christian church done accepted it on a wide scale, but you still got a lot of Christians and pastors who know that that's an abomination, right? But because it's written right beside, don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and they do that, now they feel like they have to justify that. Man, read that.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors.
Like Officer Thaba Wan always say, not WHOA, Black Rob.
Yeah.
WOE, man. Woe, which means death or destruction.
Right.
Woe. WOE means woe, man. Death or destruction. Woe what?
Woe be unto the pastors.
Be unto who?
The pastors.
The who?
The pastors.
The pastors, man. The pastors. You pastors, man, y'all got death and destruction coming, man.
Right.
Because y'all playing with the Most High's people.
Right.
You've been doing a lot of playing with the Most High's people for far too long, man. I mean, far too long. You've been misusing the word of the Most High, man.
Right.
First of all, you've been telling the people that part of the Most High's word is done away with. Like, what is that? Like, the audacity, man. In the very book, it tell you he that take away from this one, his name will be taken away from the book of life. Don't add to it and don't take away. So how you get to take away the whole Old Testament, man? Or to take away the law? Or to take away everything in the Old Testament except for the tithes? Man, woe to the pastors.
Right.
Really?
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
Destroy and what?
Destroy and scatter.
And scatter, man. The what?
The sheep of my pasture.
The sheep of my pasture, man. And the sheep of the Lord's pasture is the Israelites, man.
Right.
That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And woe to you pastors who destroy and scatter the sheep of his pasture, man. We got blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who mixed up in all kind of foolery, man, and buffoonery, man, all kind of philosophies, and all kind of wickedness and debauchery because of you pastors, man.
Right.
That's why the Lord got to tell us to gather together, because y'all have scattered this flock, man, with all kind of nonsense. But everybody wanting to have a first Ebenezer over here, and a second Bethel over here, and a First Baptist, and the Southern Baptist Episcopal, and Shiloh, and Jehovah's House, and all these different churches on the same block, man.
Right.
You got people who live in the same building, who go to two different churches on the same block.
Yeah.
That's just the flock of the sheep of the flock being scattered, man.
Right.
The Most High always had one leader for the whole nation, man. And right now, that leader is Commanding General Yohana of the ISUP.
That's right.
Man. We don't have this school over here, that school over there, teaching something different, man. All of our schools in the ISUPK, we speak the same thing, man.
Wow.
We don't have no schisms. We don't have no differences. We don't have no mixed doctrines or none of that, man. We all, ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We were bringing out this truth since 1969, man.
Right.
We had the same breakdowns for all of these scriptures. We teach the same classes. We break everything down the same. If we don't know the answer to your question, we're going to get it from brother above us who gonna tell it to you the same way that they tell it to everybody else in every other school.
Right.
Because we don't have no schisms, man. We are one body, man.
That's right.
We got one leader, man. But y'all Christians, you know, one of the most annoying things about talking to a Christian is when you say, y'all Christians believe this, and then they'll say, not in my church.
Yeah, right.
We don't do that in my church. They might do that in their church. Don't you realize that's the problem, man? That right there is the problem. We need to gather together.
That's right.
Y'all ain't trying to gather with nothing. Y'all ain't even trying to gather with the members in your own church, man.
Right.
Because you'll sit up in the same church and believe something different than the person sitting next to you, man.
Right.
For the sake of winning an argument against one of us. Yeah, man. But this still relates to brotherhood, though.
That's right.
Because you pastors are, when you scatter the flock, you are a hindrance to us being brothers to each other, man.
Right.
Come on with it, sir.
Salaki, if
Yes,
I
sir.
may, I know I've been interrupting.
Man, this is welcome, sir. Keep telling you that, man.
So if I could say this, right, it's a heavy point what you brought out just a second ago, right? Hey, can you bring it out? It's like every block that dope is being sold. You know what I mean? Every block, every project, it's churches, right? I know I go home to where I live at now. I live in the ghetto. I live in the hood, and when I go home, it's a gang of churches. You know what I mean? Right here, where we at right here, it's 2 or 3 churches right here on this strip right here, right? And just like you on the block slinging dope, they got spots where they slinging Christianity, man. Straight up, man. They got customers and clientele. They slinging Christianity.
Right.
Just like how you say they play a part in scattering the sheep, scattering our people, and play a part in our destruction, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The priests of old time did not live lavish like how the past, like T.D. Jakes and how Creflo Dollar lived and all of that. That's not how they live. And it's in opposition to the law. You know what I mean? It ain't supposed to be that way. If this is where we go learn how to serve the Lord, how come it ain't just one big church? Right. And let me say this, Salaki. That's what I was thinking about. It in history, it's well documented about Nat Turner, right?
Right.
That he learned how to read the Bible and teach the Bible. And he went out. His slave master took him out to other plantations to basically hustle the word of God, basically sell the word of God, man. And they still doing it to this day, literally hustling the word of God. And that's even in the scriptures where Christ was pissed off how they was hustling in the temple, man. And he sat there and made a whip, scourged the whip together and whipped their ass, man. Like, nah, you ain't about to make my father's house you know what I mean? Den of thieves and be hustling, man. Nah, but that's what they made it to. That's what our people have made it to. And unfortunately, because of what the Bible say, prophesy unto us smooth word.
Right.
Our people rather hear things that make us feel good instead of the truth. Instead of like how you say earlier, Boz, we love our women. We tell our women, like, look, that's some whole that's what a promiscuous woman carries. That's how she carries herself. Right. That's not an elegant woman. That's not a classy woman. We love our sisters. Right. We love our brothers enough to tell our brothers, like, look, man, you emotional, man. You acting effeminate. Right. That's how I was about to say B. Right. That's how a BITCH acts. You know what I'm saying? You speak with grace and seasoned with salt. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we learn how to be emotional from them Christian pastors. We learn how to be emotional from suffering from Christianity. Now you got flaming homosexuals, man, that's fighting against the baby and all of them because they devout Christians, man. Right. That's why the Bible says, woe be unto the pastor. Salaki,
man.
Most time. Yeah.
All that you drop is heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, heavy. It's ridiculous, man. Like, it's ridiculous where it's got, man. This Christian church, man, Like it wasn't until I came into these doors till I really realized how detrimental to our community the Christian church is.
Right.
Like the Christian church is the problem.
Right.
It is the number one problem in the black community.
Right.
Like it is the house of Satan.
That's right.
Like Satan got him over that, bro. I mean, because you'll see the one church, and I've heard different people talking over the years, and they'd be like, "Well, this church got this, yeah, but over here they doing so and so and so," and they're all coming up with the next thing, man. And it's like the drug dealers, man. It's like which church trying to figure out to come up with the blue magic?
Right. Come.
It's trying to come up with the blue magic, man. Like which pastor can breathe the hardest after he blind? You know what I mean? Like, some of them do I thought he was doing something back when I was 8 years old, man. It was this preacher who came in the time of the revival. And about midway through his sermon, he would start that. He'd be like, because the Lord said, and then he did so and so. Boy, I'm talking about everybody went crazy, man. They were waiting on him to start that. He would even hold it off until after he got to a certain point in his sermon to start bringing it out, like, to let it kick in. All of that's orchestrated, man.
Right.
Down to the T, man. Like you thought it was authentic, you thought it was the spirit and all of that getting on. Nah, man. They practice all of that, man. Right. They done figured out a way to hustle people, man.
Right.
And our people eat it up, man. But it's mostly our women. That's kind of the one thing I'm proud of, is that the majority of black men see through it. That's why the church is full of black women more so than men, man. Like they always say, we got a shortage of men in the church because black men ain't, they see through that mess, man.
Right.
And to a certain extent, I'm happy about that. But I can't be too happy because they ain't all flooding in these doors.
Yeah.
But all of this ties into brotherhood, man.
That's right.
Because these are the different things that come against brotherhood, man. The Isupk is out here trying to promote brotherhood in everything we do. And these are the things that are a hindrance to our promotion of brotherhood. Come on with it, sir.
Salaki, Bob. Just one last thing, all right?
Next week when you at work, I'm going to be in here by myself wishing you was doing this. So cut it out. Man.
I'll be right on the screen. I remember.
Okay. That's what's up. I forgot about that.
This joke, I don't want to interrupt, right? But I just want to say this one last thing, right? When it comes to the Christian pastor, right? And what you said was so heavy that we see through it as men. Right. We see through it, right? And I remember, young brothers in my neighborhood losing their life. You know what I mean? Through senseless violence, right? Sure. And of course, you got the wake, you got the funeral. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking how because for one, Salaki, on a personal note, Christianity never sat well with me on a personal note. I never liked it. I never liked the church at all, right? And I remember sitting there being at funerals, like the Christian pastor is the ultimate hustler because not only is he selling our people, false hope, you know what I mean, for a future after we die. When a brother dies, he's getting paid again. He getting paid to do these sermons at the wake, at the eulogy, at the funeral. He getting paid over and over and over again. He's getting paid off our destruction, man. And then I read these scriptures, like these scriptures was brought out to me, and I was coming into the truth, and I'm like, it makes all the perfect sense, man. Right. Yeah, destruction to these pastors, man, because they get paid off our destruction, man. That's it. You know what I mean? They lead the destruction. They get paid off of the destruction. Like they get paid twice. It's like the drug dealer who get paid off of selling you the drugs,
And then he's the pastor who turn around and do the funeral. Like he get paid, get paid twice. Even he ain't doing that.
Exactly.
Like he only get paid once over selling you the drugs. Right. Then you die, somebody else get, you know what I mean? This dude getting paid twice.
And everybody looking at the pastor like a man of renowned respect. When really he's a low-life scumbag.
He's a scumbag, man. He's a disgusting, like we used to say back in the day, he's a derelict.
Yo, snap. Those old school.
Right. He's a derelict, man. Let me get John 1:47. We went to it earlier, but I got it off of it. Let's get that, man, because get back on this Brotherhood for the last part of the class. I mean, we've been on Brotherhood the whole time because the baby didn't show no Brotherhood.
Right.
These Christian pastors don't show no Brotherhood.
Right.
Like they quick to open their mouths, but it ain't nothing fruitful coming out of it.
Right.
Like it's a bunch of bowing down and loving our oppressors, man.
Right.
And kicking our people, man. Kicking our people while we're already down.
Right.
Man. So if you could read that if you got it.
It's the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 47. Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and saith of him,
and what did he say?
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
Indeed, behold, look, behold, an Israelite indeed. Like this is an Israelite indeed. What?
In whom is no guile.
In whom is no guile, man. Like, can you look up the word guile for me?
Sure.
If you could. Or do you know what the word guile means? You gotta look it up if you know what it means. This is what Christ is saying when he sees this brother, man. In whom is no guile. He calls him an Israelite indeed, man. And this is what Christ considers an Israelite indeed, man.
So got guile as sly or cunning intelligence.
Right. Oh, slick bastard, man. But in whom is none of that, man. Not deceitful. Nathaniel was not deceitful, man. He didn't have that, man. So what does that mean that a lot of Israelites had, man? That means that a lot of Israelites had God, man. What you got?
Slick like the serpent in the garden. So
Yeah.
Took on that coach.
Exactly. So he shot this brother out because this brother stood up, man. And he didn't have that. And that's an Israelite indeed, man. That's what we're supposed to be, man. That's how we're supposed to be. But nah, we wanna glorify who can be the best hustler, man. Who can be the slickest, the most deceptive.
God.
Like these are you are being of your father the devil.
That's right.
When you try to be a slick serpent, man. And he said this is an Israelite indeed. And indeed, the definition is used to emphasize a statement or response confirming something already suggested, man. So he's an Israelite indeed, man. So this is how Christ wants us to be, man. He don't want us to have no guile, man. He don't want us to be deceptive or deceitful to each other at all, man. So, you know, how many of us would Christ say that about if he saw us coming to him, man? So this is so-and-so, an Israelite indeed, in whom there is no guile, man.
Check that out.
You know what I mean? That's how we gotta be, man.
That's right.
That's what brotherhood is built on, man.
That's right.
If you don't have no guile, then you gonna be a good brother.
That's right.
It's impossible for you not to be a good brother. Because in order for you to be a bad brother, you gotta have God, man.
Right. Gotta be a snake.
Yeah, you gotta be a deceptive snake, man.
Right.
Come on, hey, Salaki, sir, you got a point. Bring it out, man.
God,
Man, you
most
are a wealth of knowledge, man. Bring it out, man.
Most
Yeah, man. So, in recap, we got to watch our speech, speak with grace, and be seasoned with salt the way we talk to one another. We have to look out for your brother and his possessions. If his possessions fall into, under your watch, then now they become your responsibility to return to that brother, man. Don't hide thy face from that, man. Don't be the cause of your brother losing, man. Be the reason why he don't lose.
Right.
Count the cost, man. Before you step out there and try to build a tower, man. If you know you ain't that guy who's willing to give up everything that it takes to give up to get on this platform you're trying to get on, then shut your mouth, man.
That's right.
Leave it to the professionals.
That's right.
Leave it to the brothers who have given up family, wives, children, jobs, livelihoods. Leave it to them brothers, man. Who don't care about losing none of that stuff, man. You should just shut your mouth. We got people out here doing the work, man. Come on with it.
Salak, real priests and prophets and give up their whole life.
Whole life.
Like Makata's up.
Makata's up, man. Shout out to that brother.
I'm sorry, cry.
I'm thinking about that brother a lot lately, man. I don't want to keep bringing it up, but you know I just lost my pops, man. And those two right there, boy, like they both hurt like the same, man. I know Makata's out for not even 2 years, man. And my pops was with me my whole life. And my pops hurt. Makata's out hurt too, man. I'm talking about, right? Just like that, man. Like, that brother right there was a shining example of how to be, man.
That's right.
And like, all you gotta do is think about that brother, man, and I get encouraged if I ever get
Damn right. Damn right. Damn right.
Like, that was a brother. Like, the Brotherhood class would have been perfect for him.
Yeah.
He knew how to be a good brother.
Damn right.
Yeah, man, I miss that brother, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, count the cost, man. That brother counted the cost, man. That brother counted the cost. He knew he was willing to give his life for this. And when I started this, I didn't, like, I thought I counted the cost. But when you see something like that, man, it makes you reevaluate, man. You know what I mean? But the ISUPK don't force nobody except you to take this oath, man.
Right.
You take it if you want it. You don't if you want. Lord be with you. But if you take it, count the cost, man. Come on with it.
Salakia by eyes.
Yes, sir.
If I may, the prophets never had it easy. You know what I'm saying? Never, man.
Difficult life,
Moses pled for his people, man. Begged the Lord, like, nah, oh, come on. Lord.
Beg not to do this, too.
Man. Come on, man. Don't do it.
Right.
Fasted 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
Like the people complain against the Lord. Mm-hmm. And the Lord said, all right, word.
Right.
And sent fiery serpents to the earth. Mm-hmm. And the people's like, oh. Right. And the Lord ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So the life of a priest is not the life of a being, like the Salaki. That's why, you know what I mean, the Bible says what? Woe be unto the pastors, because the pastors make life easy for our people.
Right.
Life is never supposed to be easy. Life is about warfare. We're supposed to fight. We're supposed to fight ourselves. We're supposed to fight Satan, man. We're supposed to fight to serve the Lord, man.
That's right.
And it's an easy fight. It should be an easy battle.
You know what I mean? That battle should be easily won. And that'll bring the kingdom of heaven. But we don't have to be in these hellish conditions. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Nah, man. Again, more heavy punks, man. Because when you said the pastor's job is to make life easier for the people, that's a heavy point. Because it made me think about General Muhammad breakdown on the servant that was wicked, and his master came back.
yeah.
And you know that he was about to get fired or whatever. He was like, "Let me open up the books," and then he started going to all of the people that owed his master and started cutting their debts, cutting their debts. And that's what the Christian pastor does, man. He cut the debts that the people owe the Most High, man. The Most High requires you to love Him with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength, man.
That's right.
And the Christian pastor come behind the Most High and says, "Nah, you can half-ass this, man."
Right.
And he make the people's burden much lighter, man. So they said, "Nah, that's done away with. You can eat this pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, man. That part is done away with, man. You can do away with any of that except for the things that'll get you thrown in jail in this society,
Right.
and the things that's gonna take money out of my pocket. Make sure you keep them. So keep that ties. Of course you can't murder.
Right.
Of course you can't steal, because you'll go to jail for that. Anything you can get away with under the laws of the United States, you can get away with that too in the eyes of the Christian church. Homosexuality, you don't go to jail for that. So you can do that. Crab, shrimp, and lobster, you don't go to jail for that. So you can do that. Any of these, keeping the Sabbath day, keeping these wicked holidays, celebrating your birthday, all that's glorified in this kingdom. So the Christian church gonna glorify that too. That's how they do, man.
Right.
They done lighten the burdens of the people, man.
Right.
It ain't no better example of how to be unbrotherly than looking at your Christian pastor.
That's right.
That is a wicked, disgusting, evil bastard, man.
Right.
Who doesn't know the first thing about brotherhood, man.
Right.
He has joined you to another people and has taught you to be wicked to your own people. He has taught you how to not serve the Most High and be proud about it. That's the thing too. Like, they have no shame, man. They get glorified, they get accolades, they get all kind of reverence for being wicked, man.
Right.
But we get all kinds of hate and ridicule for being righteous, man.
Right.
Like, all we try to do is be righteous, man.
Right.
Like, we tell people to keep the law, and people look at us like we saying something, like we trying to make them smoke crack.
Right. Right.
Like, we telling you to keep the laws of God, man. And people look at us like we are disgusting for saying that, man.
Right. Right.
But don't worry about it. We have counted the costs for what it's going to take to build this nation, to gather this nation together, and we're going to finish this job, man.
That's right.
So you can come against us and call us whatever, come against us. Captain Mashak said, if you threaten to shoot us down, we're going to tell you to aim straight.
Aim straight.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Commander General Yohanan made sure that he raised us up right, man, to be priests and prophets worthy of the Most High.
That's right.
And brotherhood is on the forefront of our agenda.
Damn right.
So, got something?
Kind of about me.
Come on with it.
So lock your bars. I feel like impose on your class.
Nah, man, you helped making my class,
Most
man.
High Christ, man. If I may just say this one thing, right? Like, you know, like we come out, we know the truth, right? And of course, we come from a place where we didn't know the truth.
Right.
Like, we was out there in the world doing all kind of manners of wickedness. You know what I mean? Sleeping with women, throwing them away. You know what I mean? Selling dope. I mean, all kind of things that we were doing in our wickedness, man. Then we woke up to the truth. The Lord woke us up to the truth, right? So now we got the truth now. So now we like, yo, we got this damn near burden, man. Just like how Paul said, man, I wish myself a curse, you know what I mean, from Christ, man. I could take on all my people's burdens, man. You know what I mean? What else he say that I wish all Israel be saved, man. You know what I mean? That's how we are, man. We wish all our people be saved. So we get this truth, and then we tell our people, yo, this is the truth, man. This is what's gonna get us the kingdom, man. If we do this, and our people do what? Unfortunately, because we as a people brainwashed. They say we brainwashed. Yeah, we done washed our brains of this BS. You know what I mean? They say we in the cult. We me and Shabbat was talking about it, right? Last night. But our people like, how dare you tell us about our wickedness? Like, how dare you? Yeah, we gotta tell you. If I didn't tell you, I'm not a brother. You know what I mean? If I ain't tell you to stop doing what you're doing, if I didn't tell you to stop selling dope, because you're gonna die, then I ain't a brother. If I didn't tell you not to pick when you got a booger in your nose, man, you running around and you not looking sharp. I'm not a brother, man. If I didn't tell the sister, yo, close your legs, you got 5 different baby fathers. Like, yo, man, stop. Stop. Then I don't love you. I got no love for you, man. You know what I mean? But our people will see it like, yo, man, we want to live wickedly. You know what I mean? Same thing with the baby. They're like, yo, how dare you say that? We want to live wickedly. You know what I mean? Like how the general said, this world is full of what? Fun. When our job, it's not fun for us to try to convince a people to serve the Lord. It's hard work. So
no sweat, man. What you saying is heavy, man. What you said when you think about that scene in Minister Society, man, when Cain was robbing the brother in the drive-through line. And he's like, come on, man, we're supposed to be brothers. Look, what you trying to kick knowledge? Yeah, man, that's how people, man. What you trying to kick knowledge? Yo, man, don't eat that. Don't do that. Stop doing that. What you trying to kick knowledge? Man, we're gonna do what we want to do, man. That's our people, man. But again, we wouldn't be good brothers if we don't show our people their transgressions, man.
Got a precept.
Come on with it.
It's the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
That's right, man. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And that's what our people do, man. They look at us as an enemy because we tell you the truth. But the real enemy, they embrace them because they tell them a lie.
Right.
And that's not brotherhood.
That's right.
And that's what we're fighting against.
That's right.
But with that, we're gonna chop it up, man. We're gonna end the class right there. We'll be back on more brotherhood next Tuesday night because this brotherhood is an ongoing fight, man.
Right.
Because regardless of whether you want to be good brothers and sisters or not, in the Isupk, we have no choice.
That's right.
Because we love you and we're going to do thus said the Lord, man. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to the precinct officer, Kayada Ward, man.
Isupk security announcement. We had Isupk under Commander General Muhammad, started out of 1 West, on the 25th Street Hall, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted on. They shed themselves in the word. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister.
there's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in the Hebrew. Mayasharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation.
Upcoming holy convocation will be the memorial blowing of trumpets. I believe it's on September the 6th, which is a Monday. And it'll be here at the Charlotte School, which is in 1539 Northridge Avenue, Kannapolis, North Carolina. So that's our next upcoming holy convocation.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Almighty, which means everybody stand in the Hebrew. Walk on Yah Akodam, which means everybody turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanah, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodah, Hayah, Shamkar, Yahweh, Malakavkar, Tabah, Zakar, Hayah, Aisha, Barakza, Kawak, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalah now, Nakom, Kai, Yawan, Wasalat now, Kabawak now, Wasalat now, Kabawak now, Wala'ah, Yah now, Balasayawan, Abol, Abashai now, Mayan, Ra, Kayor, Lakar, Amalak, Wa'al, Watapara, La'abalom, Almon, our Father, Shana, Hazranen, Akim Kong, Dun, Nur, as is in heaven, give us this day, daily bread, give us our debt, give our debt, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from me, and thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be. Saw, which means turn. Men of Israel will give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Amali, Barak, Yah Ba'Shem Yah Shabbat, Yah Yah Yah, class is dismissed.